The Big Find. In a distant corner of the universe, a group of aliens known as the Zorathians traveled through the stars. Their ships were sleek and shiny, built for exploring new worlds. The Zorathians were curious beings, always eager to learn about other civilizations. They had heard tales of many planets, but one planet caught their attention more than others: Earth. As the Zorathian ship approached Earth, a stunning view unfolded before them. Blue oceans sparkled under the sun, while green forests stretched as far as the eye could see. The aliens were filled with excitement. They had never seen such a beautiful planet. With each passing moment, their anticipation grew stronger. They were ready to explore. "Prepare for landing," commanded Captain Lyra, the leader of the expedition. The crew quickly followed her orders, their hearts racing with excitement. The ship descended through the atmosphere, piercing through fluffy white clouds. Soon, they touched down on a flat area surrounded by tall trees and colorful flowers. As the Zorathians stepped out of their ship, they took in their surroundings. The air was fresh and filled with the scent of blooming plants. They looked around, eager to discover what lay ahead. The ground was covered in soft grass, and sunlight filtered through the leaves above, casting playful shadows on the ground. "Let's split into teams and explore," suggested Zora, a young but skilled explorer. The crew quickly agreed. They knew that the best way to learn about this world was to see it for themselves. One team headed toward a nearby hill, while another set off toward a large, crumbling structure in the distance. As they approached the ruins, they noticed strange shapes and patterns etched into the stone. These must have been buildings long ago, left behind by the humans who once lived here. The Zorathians were amazed. "What happened to them?" asked Zorak, the team's historian. He studied the inscriptions carefully, trying to understand the stories they told. "These markings show a rich history, but it seems like they disappeared suddenly." Meanwhile, the other team reached the top of the hill. From there, they could see the vastness of the land below. A river wound its way through the valley, reflecting the sun like a ribbon of silver. In the distance, they spotted a cluster of strange structures that seemed to touch the sky. "Look over there," shouted Jorah, pointing excitedly. "Those buildings are unlike anything we have on Zoreth. We have to check them out." As the teams regrouped, they shared their findings. The excitement in the air was palpable. They realized they had stumbled upon something extraordinary. Suddenly, Zorak noticed something glimmering in the grass. He bent down to pick it up. It was a small metallic object, covered in dirt. He wiped it clean and gasped. It was a piece of technology, something that clearly belonged to the humans. "This is incredible," Zorak exclaimed. "It looks like it's part of a machine used for travel. What if there are more like it?" The crew was buzzing with energy. They felt they had only scratched the surface of what Earth held. Each discovery brought new questions and fueled their curiosity even more. Captain Lyra gathered the team and said, "This is just the beginning. We have a world full of secrets to uncover. Let's find out what happened to the humans and their amazing technology." With determination in their hearts, the Zorathians set off, ready to explore the wonders of Earth. Little did they know, they were on the brink of a discovery that would change everything. Ghosts of the past. As the Zorathians ventured deeper into the ruins of Earth, they felt a mix of wonder and sadness. The remains of a once thriving civilization lay before them, telling stories of a time long gone. Broken buildings, twisted metal, and overgrown plants surrounded them. Nature had claimed back much of what humanity had built. The team moved cautiously, careful not to disturb the fragile remnants. Captain Lyra led the way, her eyes scanning the area for any clues about the humans. "Stay close, everyone. We don't know what we might find here," she said. The crew nodded, their excitement bubbling under the surface. As they walked, Jorah spotted a large structure with a crumbling sign above it. "Look at that," he shouted. The sign was half buried in dirt, but the letters were still faintly visible. It read, "City Hall." Jorah's eyes widened with realization. This must have been a place of power and decision for the humans. Curious, the team entered the building. Inside, the walls were covered in dust and vines, but they could still see remnants of what was once a bustling space. Chairs were scattered, and pieces of paper lay everywhere. Zara picked up a yellowed sheet and examined it closely. "These look like meeting notes," she said, her voice filled with awe. "They're planning for the future, projects, hopes, dreams." The crew moved deeper into the building, discovering a large room that looked like it once held important gatherings. A grand table stood in the center, but it was now cracked and covered in debris. Jorah imagined how the humans might have gathered here, discussing plans and dreams for their city. "It feels like we're walking through their memories," he said softly. Suddenly, Zorak's attention was drawn to a wall filled with pictures. He approached and brushed away the dust. The images showed people celebrating, working together, and enjoying life. "These must be family photos," he said, feeling a pang of emotion. "They remind us of what was lost." As they continued to explore, they found remnants of technology scattered throughout the building. Old computers and devices were left behind, still connected by tangled wires. Zara knelt beside one of the machines. "If we can fix this, it might tell us more about the humans," she exclaimed. The team worked together, using their advanced tools to examine the broken technology. As they repaired one device, it flickered to life, revealing a series of screens. The images showed humans in various stages of life: children playing, scientists working, and families enjoying meals together. The Zorathians watched in silence, captivated by the glimpse into humanity's past. "This is incredible," Captain Lyra said, her heart heavy with the weight of the discovery. They had such rich lives, full of love and ambition. Suddenly, the screens flashed, showing a news report about a crisis that had spread across the planet. The aliens watched as humans appeared worried, discussing problems they faced, from natural disasters to conflicts. The mood shifted. The joy of earlier images faded into concern. "We can see they faced many challenges," Zorak noted, his voice filled with sadness. "But they fought to survive." As the report ended, the room fell silent. The Zorathians realized that the humans had not simply vanished. They had struggled against overwhelming odds. The once vibrant civilization had faced its end, leaving behind only echoes of its existence. Captain Lyra looked at her crew, determination burning in her eyes. "We must learn more about their story. We owe it to them to uncover the truth." With renewed purpose, the Zorathians set out from the building, ready to delve deeper into the mysteries of Earth. They felt a strong connection to the ghosts of the past, and they were determined to honor the memory of humanity. The advanced fleet. After exploring the crumbling buildings of Earth, the Zorathians felt a surge of excitement. They had learned about the lives of humans, but now they were ready to discover something even more astonishing. Captain Lyra gathered her team to discuss their next move. "We need to find the hidden fleet," she said, her eyes sparkling with determination. "The fleet that may still hold the key to humanity's technological wonders." The crew set off toward the location indicated by the ancient map they had found earlier. As they walked through the dense forest, they felt a mix of anticipation and anxiety. What would they find? Would the ship still be intact? The trees parted to reveal a large clearing, and in the center stood an enormous hangar, half covered in vines and dirt. "Is this it?" whispered Zora, her voice filled with awe. The massive structure loomed over them, a silent guardian of the past. The team approached cautiously, their hearts racing with excitement. As they entered the hangar, they could hardly believe their eyes. Rows of spacecraft, each unique and beautifully designed, filled the vast space. "Look at this!" Zorak shouted, pointing to a ship that stood out from the rest. Its sleek silver body shimmered in the dim light. It had sharp angles and smooth curves, making it look both powerful and elegant. The Zorathians moved closer, drawn in by the beauty of the craft. "This must have been one of their advanced ships," Captain Lyra said, her voice filled with wonder. "It looks like it could travel far and fast." As they explored the hangar, the crew discovered more ships, some larger than others, each showcasing incredible technology. Zara examined a smaller craft, noting the advanced navigation system embedded in its control panel. "These controls are so sophisticated," she marveled. It's clear they were capable of incredible space travel. The team spent hours examining the ships, carefully studying their designs and features. They discovered weapons systems, communication devices, and engines that seemed ready for activation. Zorak noted, these ships could have taken them anywhere in the galaxy. They were explorers, just like us. As they continued their investigation, Jorah found a console covered in dust. He wiped it clean and pressed a button. Suddenly, the room lit up and holographic images sprang to life, displaying the ships in action. The Zorathians watched in amazement as the holograms showed humans piloting the vessels, navigating through space, and exploring distant planets. "This is incredible," Jorah exclaimed, captivated by the visuals. They traveled among the stars, but then the images shifted. The Zorathians saw scenes of chaos, ships in battle, explosions lighting up the dark void of space. The mood grew heavy as they realized that humanity had faced great challenges, both from within and beyond their world. Was this part of their downfall? Captain Lyra asked, her voice barely above a whisper. The crew felt a deep sense of loss for a civilization that had reached for the stars, but faced such dire consequences. Suddenly, Zora's eyes widened. "What if we can reactivate these ships?" she suggested. "We could learn more about their journey and what happened to them." Captain Lyra considered this. It could be dangerous, but it might also lead us to answers. We owe it to them to try. With a shared sense of purpose, the Zorathians began the process of waking the fleet from its long slumber. They worked together, using their advanced technology to carefully connect their systems with the ancient ships. As they initiated the activation sequence, the hangar hummed with energy, and lights flickered back to life. "Let's see what secrets you hold," Captain Lyra said, filled with hope and determination. The Zorathians knew they were on the brink of a new discovery, one that could change everything for both their civilization and the memory of humanity. The awakening process. The air was thick with excitement as the Zorathians gathered in the massive hangar. They stood before the dormant fleet of human spacecraft, each ship a testament to a time long gone. Captain Lyra felt a surge of hope. Today was the day they would awaken these mighty vessels. With careful planning and teamwork, they would breathe life back into the ships of Earth. "Everyone, listen closely," Captain Lyra began, her voice steady. "Today, we will activate one of the ships. We must proceed carefully to avoid any damage. Our goal is to learn as much as we can about humanity's technology and their journey through the stars." The crew nodded, their faces filled with determination. Zara had already set up a workstation with their advanced tools, ready to interface with the ship's systems. "I'll connect our technology to the ship's control panel," she said, excitement bubbling in her voice. "This will allow us to communicate with the ship's AI and access its memory." As Zara worked, Zorak and Jorah examined the exterior of the ship. "Look at the craftsmanship," Zorak said, running his hand over the smooth surface. "It's like a piece of art. I can only imagine how fast it could travel." With the connections made, Zara turned to Captain Lyra. "I'm ready when you are," she said, her fingers hovering over the control panel. The crew gathered around, their eyes fixed on the screen. "On my mark," Lyra instructed. 3, 2, 1, activate." Zora pressed the button. For a moment, nothing happened. The Zorathians held their breath, waiting anxiously. Then, slowly, the ship began to hum. Lights flickered on, casting a warm glow in the hangar. The sound of systems powering up echoed around them. "Look, it's working," Jorah shouted, his voice filled with excitement. The ship's control panel lit up, and a holographic interface appeared in front of them. The crew stared in awe as the ship's eye, a floating blue figure, materialized above the console. "Greetings, travelers," the AI said in a calm voice. "I am called Orion, the consciousness of this ship. How may I assist you?" Captain Lyra stepped forward, her heart racing. "Orion, we are explorers from the planet Zoreth. We wish to learn about the humans who built you and their journeys among the stars." The AI nodded, its form shimmering. "Accessing historical data. Please hold." The crew exchanged excited glances as images began to swirl around them. Holographic projections showed scenes of human life, families, communities, and breathtaking spaceships soaring through the cosmos. The Zorethians watched in amazement, captivated by the stories unfolding before them. "Here," Orion said, pointing to one of the images. "This is the launch of the Ark Star, one of the largest ships ever built by humanity. It was designed for exploration and colonization." The crew leaned closer, absorbing every detail. They saw the ship take off, engines roaring as it broke free from Earth's atmosphere. The scenes shifted, revealing the ship traveling to distant planets, where humans planted flags and established new homes. "This is incredible," Zorak whispered, overwhelmed by the achievements of a civilization he had only just begun to understand. They truly reached for the stars. Suddenly, the images changed again, showing darker times. The Zorethians watched as the Ark Star and other ships faced danger from unknown forces. "What happened?" Captain Lyra asked, her voice tense. "Why did they stop exploring?" Orion paused, the holographic images flickering. A series of disasters occurred. Conflicts arose among nations, and environmental disasters led to the decline of their civilization. Many ships were lost, and the remaining fleet was abandoned. The weight of the truth hung heavy in the air. The Zorethians realized that the great journey of humanity had not only been filled with triumphs, but also with deep struggles. "We need to honor their legacy," Lyra said, her voice resolute. "Let's continue to wake the rest of the fleet. There is still so much to learn." With a shared sense of purpose, the crew prepared to awaken more ships, ready to uncover the full story of humanity's past and the lessons it held for their own future. The holographic revelation. With Orion guiding them, the Zorethians were eager to learn more about humanity's past. They surrounded the control panel, their eyes fixed on the shimmering holographic images that danced before them. Each flicker of light told a story, and each story deepened their understanding of a civilization that had reached for the stars and faced unimaginable challenges. "Orion," Captain Lyra said, her voice steady but filled with curiosity, "can you show us more about the lives of the humans? What were their dreams and fears?" "Of course," Orion replied, its blue form glowing brightly. "Accessing human historical archives now." As the AI worked, the Zorethians exchanged excited glances. They felt as if they were about to witness the very essence of humanity. Slowly, images began to swirl around them once more, revealing scenes from Earth's past. The first hologram showed a lively marketplace. Humans bustled about, smiling and talking, surrounded by colorful stalls filled with food and crafts. The Zorethians watched in awe as the images captured the joy and energy of daily life. "Look at how they interact with each other," Zora whispered. "They seem so connected." Next, the scene shifted to a school, where children laughed and played. Teachers guided them, encouraging curiosity and creativity. They valued knowledge, Zorak observed, feeling a sense of admiration. Education was important to them. As the holograms continued, they revealed families gathered around tables, sharing meals and stories. The Zorethians felt warmth in their hearts as they witnessed the love and togetherness of the humans. "It's beautiful," Jorah said softly. They cared deeply for one another. However, the mood soon changed. The images grew darker, showing cities engulfed in smoke and chaos. "What is happening?" Captain Lyra asked, concern etching her features. Orion's holographic form flickered as it processed the data. "Accessing conflict records," it replied. Humans faced many struggles. Wars broke out over resources, ideologies, and territories. This led to a significant decline in their society. The Zorathians watched, transfixed, as scenes of conflict played out before them. Ships engaged in battle, cities crumbled under attacks, and desperation filled the air. The weight of humanity's pain was palpable, and the crew felt a deep sorrow for what they had lost. Despite these challenges, there were those who fought for peace, Orion continued. Many sought unity and understanding among different cultures. The holograms shifted once again, this time showing peaceful protests where humans held hands and marched together, demanding change. The Zorathians saw the determination in their eyes, the hope for a better future. They didn't give up, Zora said, her voice filled with admiration. They kept trying to make things right. As the scenes unfolded, the Zorathians learned about humanity's resilience. They witnessed efforts to heal the planet and promote harmony, showcasing humanity's ability to unite in the face of adversity. But even as they fought for peace, the pressures of their past continued to weigh heavily on them. Then came the final revelation. A large hologram of Earth appeared, surrounded by a network of ships that had once explored the galaxy. Orion spoke softly. In the end, humanity reached a tipping point. With resources depleted and conflicts raging, they chose to leave Earth behind, hoping to find new worlds to inhabit. The crew fell silent, each member processing the information. They realized that humanity's journey was one of both ambition and heartbreak, a tale of reaching for the stars, but ultimately retreating from their home. Captain Lyra took a deep breath, her heart heavy with the burden of this knowledge. "We must honor their legacy," she said firmly. "We can learn from their mistakes and triumphs. Our exploration should aim for understanding, unity, and respect for the worlds we encounter." With a newfound sense of purpose, the Zorathians prepared to continue their journey. They would carry the memory of humanity with them, determined to forge a better path for their own civilization as they explored the vast universe ahead. Understanding and conflict. As the Zorathians processed the revelations from the holographic archives, they felt a mixture of inspiration and sorrow. The stories of humanity stirred emotions within them, especially the struggles that had led to their downfall. Captain Lyra knew they had to reflect on these lessons as they moved forward. "Understanding is the key to growth," she said, gathering her team around her. "If we want to explore the universe and meet other civilizations, we must learn from the past. Let's discuss what we've learned about humanity's conflicts and their efforts for peace." The crew nodded, eager to share their thoughts. Zara spoke first. Humans were capable of great kindness, but they also let their differences tear them apart. We saw them fight over resources and beliefs instead of finding common ground. Zorak chimed in. "It's like they didn't see the bigger picture. They had the potential for unity but often chose conflict instead. This led to their downfall." His voice was heavy with empathy. If only they had recognized their shared humanity sooner. Jorah nodded in agreement. "Their mistakes remind us of the importance of communication. Misunderstandings can lead to fear and anger, which can escalate into conflict. We must strive to understand others, even when we disagree." Captain Lyra smiled, proud of her team's insight. "You're all right. We can take these lessons and apply them to our own exploration. Understanding different cultures is vital. It can prevent conflicts and foster collaboration." As they discussed these ideas, the team felt a renewed sense of purpose. They would not just explore for the sake of exploration. They would seek to connect with other civilizations. They would carry the memory of humanity's struggles and triumphs in their hearts. Just then, Orion interrupted their discussion. "I have additional information regarding humanity's final days on Earth. Would you like to hear it?" The crew exchanged curious glances. "Yes, please." Captain Lyra responded eagerly. The AI projected a new hologram that displayed Earth, with graphs and data overlays showing resource depletion, climate change, and rising tensions among nations. The data indicates that as resources dwindled, conflicts intensified, Orion explained. Instead of working together to solve their problems, nations turned against each other. This ultimately led to a catastrophic war that devastated much of their planet. The Zorathians watched in disbelief as images of destruction flashed before them. Cities lay in ruins, and the beauty of Earth faded under clouds of smoke and ash. The crew felt a deep sadness wash over them, realizing how close humanity had come to losing everything. Were there any attempts to rebuild? Zara asked, her voice tinged with hope. Orion responded, yes, many tried to heal the planet and restore what was lost. There were movements focused on sustainability and peace, but they faced great opposition. The overwhelming fear and mistrust made it difficult for people to unite. Jorah frowned, reflecting on the harsh reality. It's tragic. Even when they had the will to change, the past held them back. We cannot let that happen to us. Captain Lyra nodded thoughtfully. We must remember that change is possible, but it requires cooperation and understanding. Our mission is not just to explore, it's to connect and share knowledge. The crew took a moment to reflect on their new purpose. They would not only be ambassadors of exploration, but also messengers of peace. Their experiences on Earth had taught them the value of understanding and the dangers of conflict. With a sense of determination, the Zorathians prepared to continue their mission. They knew they would carry the lessons of humanity with them, striving to build a future that honored the memory of those who had come before them. They were ready to explore the stars, not just for themselves, but for the hope of a better universe. The ethical dilemma. The Zorathians had made great progress in uncovering humanity's past. With each new discovery, their understanding of the fallen civilization deepened. But as they prepared to continue their exploration of the cosmos, a new challenge emerged, an ethical dilemma that weighed heavily on Captain Lyra and her crew. One evening, while gathered in the hangar, Zara voiced her concerns. What if we encounter other civilizations in our travels? We have seen how humanity struggled to understand itself. How can we ensure we don't make the same mistakes? Captain Lyra nodded, appreciating Zora's insight. That's a valid concern. We need to think about how we approach other cultures. Our mission is to explore, but we must also respect their ways of life. Zorak chimed in. But what if we find a civilization that is harming itself or others? Do we intervene, or do we stand back and watch? That's the dilemma. Jorah furrowed his brow. It's a tough question. We have learned from humanity's mistakes, but that doesn't mean we have all the answers. Interfering could lead to conflict, but staying silent might allow suffering to continue. The crew fell silent, each member lost in thought. They understood the weight of their responsibilities. With advanced technology and knowledge, they could make a significant impact on the lives of other beings. But at what cost? We must create guidelines for our actions, Captain Lyra finally said, breaking the silence. We can't simply react to every situation. We need a code of ethics that guides our decisions. Zora's eyes lit up. That's a great idea. We can learn from humanity's history and develop principles that reflect respect, understanding, and compassion. Exactly, Lyra replied. Our mission is to foster relationships, not dictate terms. We should strive to understand other cultures before making any decisions about intervention. Zorak leaned forward, clearly invested in the conversation. But what if we encounter a situation where a civilization is on the brink of destruction? Should we just stand by? Or do we take action, even if it risks upsetting the balance? Captain Lyra considered his words carefully. That's the crux of the dilemma. We must be mindful of our actions. History has shown us that interference can lead to unintended consequences. If we step in, we could cause more harm than good. Jorah looked thoughtful. We need to gather information first. If we find a civilization in distress, we should communicate with them. Maybe they already have solutions but need support or resources. Zara nodded enthusiastically. Yes, we can offer help without taking control. It's about partnership, not domination. The crew felt a sense of relief as they discussed their ideas. They knew that establishing ethical guidelines would be challenging, but they were committed to navigating the complexities of their mission with care and respect. As they brainstormed, Captain Lyra sensed the weight of their decision. We must remember that we are not saviors. We are explorers seeking to learn and connect. Our experiences with humanity teach us to tread lightly and listen deeply. With this newfound understanding, the Zorathians began drafting their code of ethics. They agreed on principles of respect for autonomy, prioritizing understanding, and a commitment to peaceful collaboration. Each crew member contributed their thoughts, ensuring that the guidelines reflected their shared values. As the sun set over the hangar, the crew felt a sense of purpose and responsibility. They knew their journey would not only take them to distant worlds, but also challenge their beliefs and values. With their ethical code in hand, the Zorathians were ready to explore the universe, determined to honor the memory of humanity, while forging a path of understanding and respect in the cosmos. The return of humanity. The Zorathians continued their journey through the stars, carrying the weight of humanity's legacy with them. As they traveled from one planet to another, they shared the stories they had learned with each new civilization they encountered. They promoted understanding and respect, striving to avoid the mistakes of the past. But deep down, a question lingered in their minds. Would humanity ever return? One day, as they approached a lush green planet, Captain Lyra called her crew together. "This world looks promising," she said, pointing at the vibrant surface displayed on their screens. "Let's take a closer look. We might find something remarkable." The Zorathians descended through the atmosphere, their ship gliding smoothly above rolling hills and sparkling lakes. As they landed in a clearing, the crew eagerly stepped outside, inhaling the fresh air. The beauty of the planet was breathtaking, with colorful flowers and tall trees stretching toward the sky. "This place feels alive," Jorah said, gazing at the landscape. "I can almost imagine humans walking among the trees, exploring and dreaming." As they explored the area, they stumbled upon an ancient structure partially hidden by vines. Its walls were adorned with carvings that resembled those they had seen in human ruins. Excited, the crew moved closer, their hearts racing with the possibility of discovering more about the humans' past. Zara brushed away the leaves, revealing an inscription. "Look at this. It's a language similar to ancient Earth. It might tell us about the people who once lived here." Orion, who had accompanied them, analyzed the text. "This structure is a remnant of an early human settlement. It appears to have been abandoned long ago, but signs suggest that humans once thrived here." The crew exchanged astonished glances. Could this mean humanity returned to a new world? Zorak wondered aloud, his excitement growing. As they examined the site, they uncovered artifacts, tools, pottery, and fragments of books. Each item spoke of a life filled with creativity and purpose. The Zorathians felt a connection to the humans they had studied, and the idea that humanity might have tried to rebuild their civilization in another place thrilled them. "Maybe they didn't just leave Earth," Jorah suggested. "Perhaps they sought out new worlds to start fresh, to learn from their past mistakes." Captain Lyra pondered this idea. If they did return, it would show that humanity has not given up. They may have learned valuable lessons about cooperation and sustainability. As they continued their exploration, the crew found more evidence of human life: a well-maintained garden, remnants of homes, and even a community gathering area. The realization that humanity might have found a new home filled them with hope. But their excitement was tempered by a troubling thought. "What if we find them?" Zara said, her voice filled with uncertainty. "What if humanity is out there, but they've lost their way again?" Captain Lyra understood her concern. "We must be prepared for any possibility. If we encountered humans, we need to approach them with respect and understanding. We don't want to impose our beliefs or interfere with their journey." Just then, Orion spoke up. "I have detected faint signals coming from this planet. It appears there are still beings living here, possibly descendants of humans." The Zorathians felt a rush of adrenaline. "We should investigate further," Zorak exclaimed, his eyes shining with excitement. With a shared sense of purpose, the crew began tracking the signals, eager to uncover the truth about humanity's fate. As they ventured deeper into the planet's vibrant landscape, they felt that they were on the verge of a historic moment, one that could change everything for their civilization and perhaps for humanity itself. With every step, they carried the memory of the past and the hope for the future, ready to embrace whatever awaited them on this lush, promising world. The journey of discovery was far from over, and the potential for reunion loomed ever closer. A new journey. The air buzzed with excitement as the Zorathians moved through the lush landscape of the newly discovered planet. Captain Lyra led her crew deeper into the heart of this vibrant world, their hearts pounding with the possibility of finding humanity. They felt the weight of their mission like never before. As they walked, the signals from Orion grew stronger, guiding them toward a nearby valley. The sun cast a warm glow over the scenery, making the flowers seem to dance in the gentle breeze. The Zorathians exchanged hopeful glances, each step bringing them closer to a discovery that could change their understanding of the universe. "Orion, can you pinpoint the source of the signals?" Captain Lyra asked, her voice steady but filled with anticipation. "Processing now," Orion replied. A moment later, the AI projected a small map, highlighting a cluster of structures nestled in the valley. "The signals are strongest near this location." The crew quickened their pace, eager to uncover the truth. As they approached the valley, they could see the outlines of buildings. They looked like homes, crafted from the very materials of the land. Vines climbed their walls, and flowers bloomed everywhere. It was a scene of harmony between nature and creation. "Do you think they know we're here?" Jorah asked, glancing at his companions. "I don't know," Lyra admitted, her heart racing. "But we need to be cautious. We don't want to scare anyone." As they neared the structures, they noticed movement. Figures darted between the buildings, their forms shrouded in shadow. The crew's breath caught in their throats. "What if they're not friendly?" Zorak whispered, a hint of worry in his voice. "Let's approach slowly," Captain Lyra instructed. "We can show that we come in peace." With Orion's guidance, they reached the edge of the valley and stepped into a small clearing. The crew held their breath as they saw the figures emerge from the shadows. They were humans, young and old, wearing simple clothing made from natural fibers. Their eyes widened in shock as they spotted the Zorathians. "Hello," Captain Lyra called out, raising her hands in a gesture of peace. "We are explorers from Zorath. We mean you no harm." The humans hesitated, glancing at each other in confusion. Slowly, one brave young woman stepped forward. She had bright eyes and an open smile, radiating a warmth that eased the tension in the air. "I am Mira," she said, her voice steady. "Who are you? How did you find us?" "We came from the stars," Lyra replied, her heart swelling with hope. "We learned about humanity's journey and wanted to understand your story. We did not know there were still humans living here." Mira looked at her companions, then back at Lyra. "Many of us believed we were alone, the last of our kind. We thought our ancestors had vanished, leaving us to rebuild on our own." The crew exchanged glances, feeling the weight of this revelation. "We learned of your struggles on Earth," Zara said gently. "But it seems you have found a way to thrive here." "Yes," Mira replied, her voice filled with pride. "We have learned to live with the land, to respect nature, and to work together. Our community is small, but we are strong." Lyra smiled, filled with hope. "That's incredible. You've taken what you've learned and created a new life. We want to help. Our mission is to share knowledge and support one another." Mira's expression softened. "Perhaps this is a new beginning for both of us." As the sun dipped below the horizon, the Zorathians and humans gathered around a fire, sharing stories of their worlds. Laughter filled the air as they talked about their dreams and hopes for the future. Captain Lyra felt a sense of unity that she had longed for throughout their journey. This was not just an encounter, it was the start of a new journey for both the Zorathians and the humans. Together, they would explore the stars, learn from each other, and work toward a better future. The lessons of the past would guide them, and the promise of a brighter tomorrow shone brightly in their hearts. As the stars twinkled overhead, Captain Lyra knew that their mission had taken on a new purpose. They were no longer just explorers. They were now part of a shared story, ready to embrace the adventures that awaited them in the vast universe.